Welcome back, boys and girls, to Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Mummy Killings, or what's something like that. And we are continuing to see if we can solve this mystery with only 20 investigation points left. Pipe in hand, Holmes and his stout colleague exit the carriage and move through the dark London streets. A light fog obscuring his trademark deerstalker and overcoat. The master detective pauses and turns. Come, Watson, the game is afoot! Alright, so let's go check out some more of the newspaper here. We don't really learn anything there. Let's see. Oh, right, we forgot we could scroll down. Oh. Okay, so that's deaths. Here we go. George Lewis Brooke, Elizabeth Diana. Let's see, insufficient address. And turn to you. Miss I. Persano. Let's see. Magic unknown worm. Oh, here we go. Yes, a remarkable worm unknown to science in a matchbox. That's always a good piece of information. Oh, and the guilt of a James Phillimore. Okay, well, let's go see Mrs. I. Persano. Let's go check out Miss I. Persano. That would be P. P. I don't... Oh, Persano. Miss Isadora Persano. Let us send the detectives. Away we go. Henry Ellis said that Mrs. Persano's work is above reproach. The men decide to pay the journalist a visit in hopes she knows something the good editor does not.
Sorry, Holmes. No information here.
Well, let's not dawdle, Watson. There's work to be done.
Well, darn, that didn't work. Alright, well, let's go see who else we can go investigate. Let's go even older. Turnbull. It's still Turnbull here. House of Lords. Mysterious death. First officer. Let's see, deaths. Let's see, Arthur. In his 5th year. Ooh. Two lions. Ooh. So Whitechapel. Whitechapel. Let us go to Whitechapel. Can we go to Whitechapel? I don't know. Let's just go see. We cannot go to Whitechapel. Okay. I'm confused. I am confused. Hey, we're back up to 40. How's that possible? Alright. Let's see. What's in the notebook? We were rebuked. We were rebuked. So what does Inspector Lestrade have to say? Lestrade, Inspector. It's Lestrade's bulldog tendency has brought him to the top at Scotland Yard. He is rather unimaginative sort who is often out of his depth. Provided assistance with the taking of Sebastian Moran and the Baskerville case. There's a lot of references to his to the actual books as well, which is nice, which is neat. All right, well, we're not getting much. We're not getting anywhere here. Windabank and Weatherby. Let's go see if we can see Weatherbank and Windaby. Let's go. Okay, Nothing on file. We shall send an irregular. After an exhaustive search through the London Times, Holmes decides to send 2 of the most responsible of the boys to the Weatherby's house, Telly and Pepys. We talked to a lovely lady. She offered us some treats, but could barely open the tin. Now then, we shall not believe it's her, that's for sure. Too bad we couldn't mark off saying it's not her. So let's go see Mr. Windibank. Professor of Egyptology and Science at London University. Published a paper on the rare antiquities buried in the deserts of Arabia. Has had some difficulty with the Anti-Vivisectionist League over the past several years. Well, we shall send an irregular. Wisely calls the air upon the irregulars to travel post-haste to discuss the recent murders with the widow of James Windibank. Caught the missus at home? She says the chap who wrote the newspaper stories about the mummy of yours was one of Windibank's old students. Oh, was he? Was he? Well, we shall send the detectives. Armed with information that he's discovered both in the Times and conversations with reliable sources, Holmes sets out alone in hopes of a revelatory conversation with Windibank's widow.
James was so thrilled when Dr. Turnbull invited him to join the expedition. He felt he had spent his entire life reading books about archaeology, and now was finally getting an opportunity to go out into the field.
Tell me, Mrs. Windibank, when your husband returned, did he discuss the deaths of his colleagues?
Of course. James was extremely upset. I know he did not believe a curse to be responsible. My husband was a man of science.
A man of science? Ooh. So who is writing the stories? Can we see that? Work later tonight. Remaining chamber. Ooh. So Weatherby. Andrew Weatherby. Did we go visit him? Can't remember. I can't remember. We just read this one. Why am I still here? Oh my god. Oh my god, boys and girls. I'd make a lousy detective. What does Weatherby? Did we investigate? Oh, we didn't go here. Nothing on file. Send in a regular. Yes. Oh, well. Watson tells Holmes that he has a hunch about Shelley Weatherby since her name sounds so similar to Weatherby. Holmes shakes his head as quietly as an irregular is dispatched. We worked for this Weatherby's lady, but she was no place to be found. A waste of time, this was. Yes, well. Yeah, I agree. Probably a waste of time. Alright, let's go to this old paper. Dr. Turnbull, Weatherby. Modus operandi. Turnbull. We should go investigate this Turnbull. And Lyons. Turnbull and Lyons. Let's go see. Turnbull first. Turnbull. Ebenezer. Finally, Tipper says after Doc Swanson has a regular to visit the home of the murdered gentleman with a shilling in hand. Oh, I think we're already here. We shall send the detectives. Actually, I think I did this already once.
Dr. Turnbull.
Oops. Yes, I already did this once. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Yes, we knew that. And what was the name of the other lady? I can't remember now. We're getting nowhere fast, boys and girls. I am confused. Let's go to the Times. We must go to the Times. Watson hails a carriage, and he and Holmes proceed to the offices of the London Times. Surely Henry, as the editor of the Times, would have some interesting news regarding the case. Ah, yes, and we knew his friend was a friend of a friend.
It's quite amusing, all this hoopla over a mummy's curse, I must say. Not so amusing, of course, the murder of 3 Englishmen.
Have any of your reporters uncovered anything new?
Actually, I've been in Paris the past several weeks, Just returned to London on Tuesday. I've had no involvement with the writing of any of these articles. I believe they are all the work of Philip Travis.
Aha, a
One of our
clue.
young reporters. For a short time, he was the Egyptian correspondent.
Was he sacked?
No. He returned to London just a few days ago. I gather he was reassigned to cover the case from here because he had some familiarity with a murder in Egypt.
Do you know Travis?
No, never actually met the chap, although I hear he's a bit of an odd duck.
An odd duck.
Thanks for your help, Henry.
Anytime. Let me know when you catch the mummy. That's one scoop I'd like to get.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, so now I wrote his name down so we don't forget it. Philip Travis. We must go find Philip Travis. Travis Philip. The son of an irregular. Watson asks two of the most trusted lads to follow up on an important lead. He sends them to the home of Philip Travis, sometime contributor to the Times. The shutters were drawn tight. Had some weird chanting, I think I did. Oh, well, that's definitely nothing on file. We shall go. We shall send the detectives. Holmes decided to travel to Mr. Travis's home alone, leaving Watson in the company of Mrs. Hudson and her apple cranberry cakes.
So you've been reading my articles in the Times. I'm honored. What do you think of them?
Quite interesting. You've clearly been following the murders quite closely. Who do you suspect?
I believe it is the work of the ancient Egyptian god Pumatef and his goddess Neith.
Be serious.
I couldn't be more serious. You see, Mr. Holmes, although I am a journalist, I was actually trained as an Egyptologist. I know all about these mysteries. That's why my articles carry the force of truth.
And what is the truth, Mr. Travis?
The truth is that the Egyptians discovered the secret of life. What we call science is mere child's play compared to the knowledge they had. Look at this. Do you know what this is?
A mummified animal of some sort?
I was going to say a kid.
Precisely.
Write a conversation piece.
I've been using it in some very important experiments which, if successful, will unlock the secret for bringing back the souls of the dead. I've been working on it, Mr. Holmes, using these tanner leaves. Watch.
I'm not sure I want to watch. This guy is certainly an odd duck.
Uma Lotus. Licantina. Burura.
It appears that the soul of this particular monkey has no intention of making a reappearance.
It's only a matter of time. I know it is. After all, these secrets have been buried for thousands of years. These things don't happen overnight. But it will happen someday. This is my mission.
I believe I'll leave you to your work, Mr. Travis.
Don't go yet. Let me show you more.
Thank you. Some other time, perhaps.
Perhaps. Perhaps we shall investigate this guy another time. Nothing on file. Well, he is certainly crazy. Okay, so... That was kind of a dead end, wasn't it, boys and girls? I believe that was a dead end. So, let's go see what the last newspaper has to tell us. So, this one seems imperative. I must write to formally register my outrage at the irresponsible handling by your paper of my recent discovery. Your reporter's insinuation that I lack the credential to unearth such activities and... Oh, see, Egyptian studies. Yeah. Earl of Downey. Earl of Downey. We shall go see the Earl of Downey, I do believe. Earl of Downey. Okay, let's go here. Downey. Earl of Downey. How would I go about doing that? How would I go about doing that? Oh wait, was that what what's his name was? Yeah, this guy. He was third son of the Earl of Downey. Third son of the Earl of Downey. Well, that's interesting, yet not really Earl of Downey. Third son of the Earl of Downey. So I assumed it passed down. Irish expedition. Jacob Fishett. Let's go see what Jacob Fishett, because he just came back, so Jacob Fishett. Let's go check out Fishett. I think that's the next thing. Jacob Fishett. Fishett is not here. It was a red herring. Dang it. Alright. Let's go check this one again. Births, marriages, deaths. Lions murdered. Well, not much. Oh, here we go. George Lyons. Yeah, see this George Lyons. Yes. See, there was that. Yeah, see, here's the accident on the docks, and then there's. Yes, Lyons. See, Lyons and Lyons. Aha! See, there's a connection. There's a connection, I say. But there's nobody here. Ah! This is not working out, boys and girls. We are no further along, I don't believe. Shall we try once again to... I don't know. Shall we try... Well, let's go see one of the regulars. Let's go see Inspector Lestrade. Although talking with Lestrade is often tedious and the inspector is condescending, Holmes and Watson visit Scotland Yard, hoping the man has done his due diligence in this case and can offer insight.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Sherlock Holmes, London's most overly praised amateur sleuth, needing the help of the Yard again.
Are you going to stand for that, Holmes?
Let's just see who proceeds to solve this case, Watson. Inspector Lestrade, my good man, I'm looking into the cause of James Windibank's death.
I should have known. That murder has brought out every crank in the city. I think the professional police can wrap this one up.
All the same, could you tell us what you've discovered to date?
One dead archaeologist, no suspect, no motive.
And what of Andrew Weatherby's death? Have you looked into that?
I have talked to Captain Ramsey, but we have no leads. Look, I'm not even sure that Weatherby's murder falls into our jurisdiction. And if it doesn't, you're not going to find me worrying about it. As it is, I have enough murders to take care of.
Well, from that, let's go see if we can find Mr. Ramsey. I don't believe we've followed him up, Tim. Ramsey. After perusing the Times, Holmes is convinced Mr. Ramsey has information valuable to the case. He gathers his coat and hat and catches a carriage to the home of the man.
We had just come through a rather grueling storm, so I sent my first officer, Luther Tenney, down into the hold to check on the condition of the cargo. He reported back post-haste that Mr. Weatherby was lying dead among the Egyptian artifacts we were transporting. I turned over the helm to Tenney and went below to have a look for myself.
And did what you see confirm Teddy's report?
Unfortunately, yes. Weatherby was lying next to that coffin, or whatever it's called, apparently strangled. I went back to the bridge and put Tenney in charge of the investigation.
And what did he uncover?
Well, you'll have to ask him for the specifics, because I can scarcely recall the details.
Oh, interesting. So now we must go visit Tenney. Now we're getting somewhere, boys and girls. And since we're getting somewhere, we'll call this episode at an end. Next time we'll watch and we'll go see what Mr. Tenney has to say about the death of Mr. Weatherby and Mr. what's his name? Something or other. Bah! I suck at this. Until then, boys and girls. Good night!